Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another podcast of Beyond Click and Cliff. This is where I do a podcast of talk about experiences and all that other stuff, and not too much of Lego. And I hope y'all have been enjoying this. And we have started a new month. It's December, so we're done being thankful. Now we're to giving. And Christmas, I was always brought up, it's all about the giving and not the taking. But when you're a kid, you don't understand that, do we? Well, I never did. I always, man, getting those gifts underneath the Christmas tree. Couldn't wait to Christmas to open them, see what Santa got for me. And going to family and getting presents from them, just all I can get, As a little kid, that was exciting. All exciting when I was a kid. Things kind of change. You get older. I got a job, but I got a job. I started buying gifts for my parents, and you know what? And that's when I opened my eyes. I saw them kind of grin because I didn't know what to get them. I think my first Christmas gift I gave my mom was a wooden spoon set for cooking. Didn't understand that that's not what she wanted for Christmas. More stuff to cook with. I gave my dad, I think, a pair of socks. He wasn't too thrilled, but I mean they were thankful they got it. That I thought of them instead of myself. But anyway, I'll tell you some stories. Well, this is Christmas story episode 1, part 1. We'll do kind of do December how we did Thanksgiving. But I remember, I don't know how old I was. I think I was, I don't know. I'm thinking I was young. I don't remember how old I was, but we do our Christmas on Christmas Eve, because Christmas Day we always went to my grandparents' house, and that's where I get the gifts from Santa Claus. My parents always brought me up. I was young. I believed in Santa Claus, but they wanted to give me gifts too. They said so. That's why we did ours on Christmas Eve. So growing up, I was only thinking, well, Christmas Eve is from my mom and dad. Christmas Day is from Santa. So Christmas Eve, man, the anticipation when I was a kid, man, that whole week of Christmas, man, it went by like a snail's pace. I think it was horrible for me as a kid. I don't know if that's greedy or what when I was a kid, but I think every kid kind of gets excited during Christmas time. And I remember a bunch of times where I tried to sneak to see what I got. I'd open up a gift with tape and see what it is. But my parents were smart. They put them in a totally different box. So I was thinking I was getting Kellogg's cornflakes for Christmas. I was kind of devastated. Like, man, I get that every day. But the real good was inside. I didn't know that when I was a kid. I didn't think about that when I was a kid. So I'm telling you these kind of stories. It's kind of a build up. But we had a little wiener dog, and I throw him in the presents so he can scratch and tear up presents as he tried getting out from underneath the tree. That didn't work in my favor either because I got in trouble, bad trouble then. Christmas almost was canceled in my house that year. But anyway, I used to mischief. I mean, it was just a horrible time. I was impatient. Everybody knows me now. I'm kind of impatient. I'm working on it. I really am. But Christmas time was awesome. I could not wait for Christmas. But one year, Christmas Eve, I mean, I don't know, my parents must have hit the lottery or something. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. I mean, I got a dartboard. I got the whole 18 pack. I had the 18 van, all the 18 figures that went with the van. I remember opening them up, and Mom had them in so tight, open up, and they just flew out at me. It's like He was like, "Oh, my lens," and I got it. Found out there was 18. It was awesome. One of the great Christmases that I had as a kid. But then we had to go to Grandma and Grandpa's. I just basically was able to open them and go to bed, get up, go to Grandpa's. I didn't get much time to mess with my gifts. So I went to Grandpa's and Grandma's. Went in there, saw their Christmas tree, saw all the presents underneath the tree. My cousins and my uncle and all my cousins was there. Made us eat breakfast before we could even touch the gifts. I was like, man, I want to open the gifts. Well, I think this is about went down there, opened my gifts, and Santa, God rest his soul, bless his soul, gave me a pair of winter gloves and a stocking cap. Now, in my mind, when I was a kid, you didn't want that stuff for Christmas. Because what are you gonna do? You can put it on in the wintertime. Ooh. Remember, I was a child, not very smart. I'm not very smart right now, but I was really not smart back then because I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it keeping my hands warm, my head warm. But we went and then waited all day to get home to play with my gifts. We had good dinner. I had fun hanging out with my cousins. Of course, we got in a lot of mischief, but we finally got home. Started opening up my toys, stuff like that. It was great. It was fun. I couldn't believe what I got, but then all the build up is to this little segment right here in this podcast. Do I have any of that stuff right now? Nope. And that's what I'm saying. What I'm thinking. As you grow up, you get out of stuff. You give stuff away. Stuff breaks. You throw it away. And all that stuff. At least I did. Every year for Christmas, my mom would go to my bedroom. And we had this thing where you give toys to charity. It's kind of like Toys for Tots, but what it was is in the town I grew up in, they went around and they asked the people to give toys that were still in good, fairly good condition where they can still get use out of it. And they'd go around, pick it up, and then we had a children's home there, and it had housed about a bunch of kids, and they would take it over there and for their Christmas. So that every year my mom and me would go through my toy box and pick out the toys that I never did play with. Never did. I might played with it once or twice, and it's been my toy box ever since. So I'd always weed down my toys and give it to charity. And I was when I was a kid, I was kind of proud of that. I was kind of proud that I did something like that. But and what I'm trying to get at now, I am almost 40. I'm 46 years old, and I'm thinking back. The stuff that I got when I was a kid, did I really need? Yeah, it was fun at the moment, but I don't have none of the stuff now, and it kind of makes you stop and think. What's important, and to me, I'm speaking to me. What's important is my family, like it was on Thanksgiving. That some of my family are gone now. My mom and dad, they passed away. And it's good for me to remember this stuff. What they did for me as a kid made me smile and happy. Dad always made sure I had clothes on my back, roof over my head, food on the table. That was his priority. He did good raising. That was his priority. He would work 2 jobs and make sure there's clothes on my back, food on the table, and roof over me, mom's head. So he made sure of that. And that's more what I'm thankful for. Because, nowadays, everybody knows, sometimes it's hard to make ends meet. Um, and you got to be diligent in, keeping up, trying to. I know a lot of us struggle. I struggle sometimes, and I think everybody does. But I'm really thankful for that I was blessed to have a father that made sure of that. But you know, Christmas is a good time for giving. That's why I like to give more than receive. I like to see the smile on my kid's face, my wife's face, my friend's face. That I saw something that hey, they may like that. Pick it up for them. You give it to them, and the smile on their face or their little reaction. Um, stuff like that just makes my day. Um, I'm not saying the stuff that I get, I don't smile. I'm happy that I got it. I am. I'm thankful for it. But I tried raising my kid, to be thankful for what she's got, but it's better to give than receive. Um, but I think that's everybody's. I think everybody really wants to give than receive. I think a lot of people are that way. I think there's still a lot of good in this world, even though we see a lot of bad. But I still think there's a lot of good. We just got to see it. Quit concentrating on the bad and concentrate on the good parts. But I. But as right now we're at a kid. When I was a kid, you don't see that. It's fun getting gifts. I mean, I would play them. I know I would. My new stuff I'd play for hours. And one Christmas, it was we were at my grandparents' house, and this was back when the Nintendo first came out. Didn't have a game console at all, and my grandpa didn't know what I had because he got me a Nintendo game. I was all excited, but I go, Grandpa, I don't have a Nintendo. And he goes, oh, because I didn't have a gaming system. I didn't have a game. The only gaming system I had when I was a kid was an Atari until I got old enough to buy my own stuff and I got a PlayStation. And now I got a PlayStation 4, but I bought that myself. But anyway, beside the point. So my grandpa, God bless his soul, he tried. But he took that game back and got me, I think, I don't know what, I forgot what, I think he got me football and some other kind of stuff. But, I appreciate that out of him. He did he did with a thoughtful heart. And that's what's important. But Christmas it's always good. I love Christmas. My three favorite holidays run together: Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Halloween, I just like like I said before, I like the environment. I like the leaves changing colors, just the weather, the whole outlook on it. Thanksgiving, my stomach likes it because I like to eat. So I eat. I like Thanksgiving. Christmas, I like to see smiles on other people's face, and that's what's great. But it is what it is there. But just and I think as this month go by, we'll get into some deeper subjects. But this is just trying to break the ice. I know we kind of, this podcast is about my life experiences. This is about my life experience. This is what I'm just conveying to you guys what I feel during the seasons and a little bit of stories. And there'll be more stories. I've got tons of them for Christmas, especially. But it, just Just remember when I was a kid opening gifts. The mischief of it all. Throwing my little wiener dog that we had and then trying to see what I got. I used to even try to go when my parents are gone, go in their bedroom and look and try to find presents that they had. Sometimes I'd find them, sometimes I wouldn't. But I knew to keep my mouth shut because I know if I opened it, they would take it back and forgot about it. And my parents tried to make me make a list. So I'd make a list of what I wanted and give it to them. And sometimes I got what I wanted on the list. Sometimes I didn't. Well, I got some of it, and some of it on the list anyway. What they could afford or whatever. I think I put down a Lamborghini one year and I didn't get it. Or always reached for stuff that I knew I probably would never get, but it was worth a try, right? Guys, I was always thankful. We're coming out of Thanksgiving. Now we're into giving, and I think everybody likes to give. But guys, I think this is going to be it of this first part one of my Christmas story, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy this podcast. I'm pretty sure after we get out of Christmas and stuff, we will get back to the old me telling you stories about me growing up and life experiences and stuff like that. But I figure Christmas and stuff like that, we keep it Christmassy kind of. And like I said, there ain't no set times on these podcasts. It could be an hour, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. Just whatever I want to tell you. And I hope you're enjoying it. I'm getting good views on it, good feedback on it. So I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying doing this kind of podcast with you. And I hope you're enjoying it. You could always leave a comment and let me know. Tell me, hey, I don't know. You're kind of going weird on us, or I like it, or if you had the same experience, tell me your story in the comments, and I would love to read it. But guys, I think this would be it. Please, hit that like. Leave me a comment. Tell me your story. And if you ain't subscribed, maybe consider it. Guys, remember, be good to one another. Pay it forward. And until next time.